actually kind of trying to apply it to make some changes in my own behavior. So,
Oh, nice.
it's good insight. Um, I've been studying a lot of health models this week, so I'm trying to remember the specifics of this one.
Oh, are
Behavior
you in
change.
392? Are you in
Yeah.
oh, okay. How
Yes.
okay. Okay. Well, what other class did you have to do? Wait, what did you just maybe I misunderstood you. Like, what did you say before that?
That I'm doing a lot of behavior models, so I'm trying to remember which one the
Oh,
health
yeah.
behavior.
So what
Yeah.
other classes are you doing for like behavior models? What other ones?
HS 420 is my other one, so all three of them have to do with behavior models.
Oh,
So
this is HS 420, this class.
391.
Okay.
I get my mixed up.
No, because yeah, I'm in 390 and they overlap so much. It is really Yeah. confusing. It's
Yep, I've got 390 also right now.
uh,
So perceived susceptibility, perceived severity, perceived benefits. Okay, I'm remembering now. So
yeah.
yeah, in fact, I said to my husband, because I'm trying to change this one behavior right now, and I said, point when I realized that the cost of what I'm doing outweighs the benefit. So, and that's when I decided that things had to change.
Yeah.
So, and that went right along with the health behavior model. So that was great life applicability.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah. Right. I think I can see it like so applicable in so much. I mean, like you said, like personally, I know I don't want to like there's things about myself I want to change. I mean, I genuinely want to change, but because the perceived severity isn't like, it's like on the back burner, literally. Like we'll get to that after the semester or something like. So I think that that's very applicable to just pretty much anybody's life with what's going on, with what they already have on their plate. And, just, it just makes a lot of sense.
Right.
So thanks.
Yeah, all these classes really do kind of blend together. I was hoping to get up like super early to like review my notes, and like I have about like 40 tabs open from all my classes. I'm
Yeah.
like, which class is this? I'm like, oh, this is
Yeah. Yeah, I know it really does. But I don't think we have, it says to allow 45 to 60 minutes for in-depth discussion, or I don't know how they put it, but I feel like so we have to go over the final PowerPoint, which I have that pulled up, and then we go over the scenario discussion, and we're pretty much done then, right? Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, it just says kind of go over the assignment, the instructions on the
oh,
application together.
that's right. Okay. Yes. All right. So, do you want, I can share my screen if you guys want, and because I have it like right ready to go.
Oh, perfect. That'd be
Okay. I
great.
was trying to pull the PowerPoint up, so that works.
Okay. So, let me see.
Oh, sorry, I'm like coughing
Yeah, you
up in
don't
everyone's
sound very
face.
well.
Oh man, it's like my fourth time being like this in like 2 months. I don't understand what's going on.
I think honestly, I think it's the stress. I was like that like a year ago last semester. So,
Yeah, because I'm like
okay.
barely sick ever. I don't know what's going on.
Can you guys see it?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then let's see what I can do to slideshow from beginning. Okay. So do you see it now? Like, is that all you see?
I know well, it's still kind of working on it. I still see the
Like the options.
Oh,
slides on the side.
oh, okay. Darn. Okay. Because it's like animated. So maybe it won't work that way then. I mean, not that it doesn't really matter. That's kind of a funny thing, though. I think that when they tell us to look through slideshows, like it's not really, it doesn't really apply to us because we can see everything. I don't know. It's kind of just a weird way to teach us something. But okay, so health belief model is, we've already talked about the perceived susceptibility and the perceived severity and the perceived benefits of an action, which I really like that too. And then perceived barriers to taking that action. So, and then the last two are cues to action and self-efficacy. So like, I just love that. I think that this is so applicable to life. So the constructs are pretty much what we just talked about. Should we go into?
Oh, like read each one maybe, or?
Yeah. Should we do
I think
that?
we all understand it. Is anybody concerned about what each of them are?
No.
No, not really. What I was actually just thinking last night actually was that I don't know, maybe I didn't read correctly or something, but or maybe it's just me personally, but because like you know how like sometimes like there's people that just know the benefits of something, they'll change their life just to get that benefit. I was
Yeah.
kind of wondering like where do I fit in? Because like, I'm not really one of those people. Like you could tell me, you know, it's kind of like becoming a millionaire. You could tell me all you have to do is work at this, like you know, for like 100 hours a week, and you'll be a millionaire. Oh, awesome! Like that's a great benefit. I would love to be a millionaire, but it won't really change. Like I won't like kill myself to do that, you know. And so like I'm really one of those people that I feel like my behavior would change. Maybe like actually, I think it's more of like the severity of it, you know, because like I'm like this person that like the past maybe 6 months I've been kind of like this weird like addict with the knowledge of cancer, and so I've been kind of like hearing about like this vitamin called selenium that apparently like it's been like like treating cancer around the world, and it's super cheap in like Walgreens. You know, it's like a buy one get one for like $4, and just like the severity of cancer and what's going on with it now, like made me kind of change like the way I eat and do things, you know. And I was kind of curious, like what's like the most common like behavior change within all these constructs. Like I was always kind of thinking that.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good example, right? Because if like with cancer you're really concerned with cancer, then you're going to, I mean, and that is a really severe, or I mean, and that is a real like concern of yours, then that's like, that goes in with those first two constructs. And I think in the reading it said that those first two have to come first, right? And then it's the benefits, the perceived benefits of changing that kind of help like push it along.
Oh yeah.
Am I right about, did I read that wrong? I don't know if it actually said specifically that, but that's maybe just what I got from it.
Right. I remember there being something like that, like the benefits outweigh the, you know, your barriers, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But there was something there about a balance. But
Yeah.
I think to answer one of your questions, Abe, I think this applies a lot to weight loss. Like this has been me for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
I've been working on my weight. And there came a point that I realized that my weight was way out of control and my eating was way out of control. And so my perceived severity finally kicked in to be like, okay, you have to do something. And being 36, I'm now realizing how susceptible I am to the long-term effects of everything. So my perceived susceptibility was high and my perceived severity was high. And then when I started thinking, I sat down with a nutritionist and she started talking about like, if we change your eating, we change your weight, look at all of these things that could benefit you, like feeling more confident and feeling less depression and feeling less of the acid reflux. And then she said, so let's address the barriers that are standing in your way. So we talked about like availability of food where I work and pre-cooking and all of those kinds of things that have stopped me in the past from being successful. So I think there's a lot of ways to apply this, but that's one recently that's been in mind.
Wow.
That's almost been the exact model.
And she went through all of those steps with you? Like you're able to identify what those steps are?
Right, and I don't even know if she honestly has the training in health behavior or health belief model. I think that just sometimes is just a natural flow for us to go
That's
through
true.
that. But ever since I've been reading about self-efficacy, I've really been trying to think about that too, because I've lost significant amount of weight before. And so I keep saying, like, you've done this before. You have confidence in your ability that you can do this, and you have, you just had to have something to spur you on to get it started, and that's exactly what happened. And I've lost 30 pounds so far. So in 2
Oh
months.
wow! Congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 pounds in how long?
2 months.
What?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow, that's something to think about, huh? Like, huh.
Right.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Now, in another class that I'm doing, we have this whole, we have to fill out this whole, maybe this is one of the classes you guys are into, 390. Okay, yeah, 390. You guys are in 390.
Yeah.
So we had to fill out this table this week about ways that we can apply the models. And
yes.
Okay, so like screenings and assessments, so you get people in to get screened for blood pressure, cancer, checkups, health education, medical disease prevention, social and educational programs, personal interest, problem behavior that involves health concerns. Those are the things that I found that we can use the health belief model with.
Oh, that's really, because, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, I haven't done that assignment yet. I just saw that. I was like, oh, that's going to take a little while. How long did it take you to do?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Hours on it one night.
Oh,
8 hours. I kid you not. And I got really upset with it, and I'm done. And I don't care if it's not fully complete. It's getting submitted. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah. Oh, because are you guys in biostatistics? Did one of you guys say that you're in biostatistics too?
No, I took statistics like way years ago, so I didn't have to take it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, that's awesome. Because there's a huge exam today too. And I'm like, this is, yeah, I have to get used to being in this room all day long today. So anyway, okay, that's one of the reasons why I like the health belief model though so much, is because you can break it down and you can just apply it into your, you can see why it works. Like it's very identifiable and then applicable, I think. Like it makes a lot of sense. So yeah. Let's keep up. Am I still sharing my screen? Because I was trying to, I went to go look at my notes too for something. Wait.
Oh, not anymore. I'm sorry.
Not anymore. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. So, the valence and the subjective probability. Okay, did we go over this part? This part isn't
not yet.
Super familiar. Okay, good. Because I don't. Did we even identify? Or did we even in our reading though? Is this new stuff?
Valence. I don't remember. I remember thinking, oh, sound familiar.
Yeah, I don't think it sounds familiar either. Okay, well, let's not spend.
How bad do you want the goal? Likelihood of achieving the goal based on some action. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the perception is the basis of all behavior, which is true.
Yeah. Okay. The health belief model is known as value expectancy model. I like this. Okay. They think they value the outcome being healthy related and to the behavior, and they think that the behavior is likely to result in that outcome. So basically, I mean, that goes along with both of your examples as far as, it makes sense. So the health belief model in action. Suppose you are concerned about a group of serious urban blues musicians who are heavy smokers and you wanted to encourage them to quit smoking. You set out to conduct a health promotion campaign using the health belief model and begin developing information materials straight from the 6 constructs. So you develop some brochures and internet materials that contain very clear information about the risks and the severity of lung, throat, and other cancers, as well as emphysema caused by smoking. You even throw in a few graphic pictures. Okay, so you've hit on the first 2 constructs. Okay.
Then, and then it says you put together some flyers, posters, web ads, and radio spots advertising a number of quit smoking programs and products that are relatively inexpensive or covered by insurance, and promise that clients will be smoke free in a month. You're trying to show that the costs of quitting are low. Then, in the same flyers, posters, and ads, you include testimonials from people who've quit and who are ever so happy about their new healthy state of being. You include those because you are trying to show the benefits are great. And the 4 constructs down, 2 to go.
Interesting. Okay. So, let's see. Now you need a cue to action. Okay. What will you use? Luckily, you find out about a famous musician who recently died of cancer because of smoking. You somehow are able to get some quotes from his life saying, if only he had quit, and so on. You put the information on blues clubs and music stores, figuring it ought to inspire some action. Now you just have 1 construct to go.
For self-efficacy, you put together a brief steps to quitting booklet called 1, 2, 3 Quit, congratulating yourself on the music-related title. Then you send out some trained quit coaches to provide a free starter demonstration at local YMCAs and the meeting of a local musicians union.
Okay. So, what do you think will work? I'm curious now. Do you think it will work? After all, you took the HVM book and plugged it right into your program components.
It's funny because I actually already read this PowerPoint, and like honestly, that's like the most convenient way to help. Like most people would probably go that route anyways, and like most likely always would do their school presentations in that format, like
Yeah.
simple graphics and then the benefits. Yeah, like you kind of naturally go through all the constructs, but then apparently like it might not always work out that way in the real world.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, I'm curious about what happened. Okay, so it's the easy like what you said.
What incarnation happened?
Yeah, what incarnation happened? All right. So you just succumb to the easy program structure illusion. The key to avoiding the easy program structure illusion is to first do some research and then target your program and the theory to the people you are trying to help. Second, don't think of the theory as the complete story. It is a tool. Oh, I like that. A guideline and a framework to help you develop an effective program. That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. Okay. So what would you do different? So Okay, this makes a lot of sense. With the coupled with the 390 class. So focus group interviews. So they're saying that you actually go out and interview like the target population. Is that right?
Or do
Okay.
focus groups, yeah.
And then cost benefit, no insurance, priority is getting a gig, no time to take off. Oh, wait, what are these bullet points that we're reading? Priority is getting a gig, no time to take off, to attend a class for a month, and social benefits. So what does that?
So you need to address, I guess.
Okay.
Ooh, do an address.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So their priority, the musician's priority, is getting a gig. So they don't really care about smoking or getting off the smoking. They don't have time to take off to attend a class for a month.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to push the social benefits. That's what I'm getting there.
Yeah. Like the gig is like their soft spot, so like they probably have to go like a new route. So it's like, how am I gonna really get their attention?
Okay, so then it's kind of going back to like the ecological, environmental, like, that's not really a model, but like just that approach then, right, is kind of what you think. So
Right. Like there's a lot of things that go into whether or not they're going to perceive the severity because of the other things they have going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So the focus of your perceived severity theme shifts from the disease consequences of smoking to the potential costs of losing future gigs and careers. Maybe you have a tagline that says, got throat cancer, can't get gigs. Got lung cancer, Okay. So the HPM in action part 2, to demonstrate that the costs of quitting are relatively low, this time you focus on quit smoking modalities, which is easily available locally, at grocery stores, so then we just simplify, or we just make it
tailor it to them specifically, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mammography.
In Maryland, outreach initiatives have been unsuccessful engaging low-income African American women. See, this is just really interesting, because what it's saying then, okay, I'll organize my thoughts in a minute. The HPM primary focuses on an individual decision and does not address social environmental factors. Okay, calculations will vary based on the kinds of information and interpretations being made. The HPM assumes that everyone has equal access to and an equivalent level of information.
So these are the weaknesses and critiques. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't read the top thing. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
And
they're
so
like talking bad about it.
So what they're saying that maybe in that second bullet point is that everybody's like, once the level of urgency or whatever, what did they call it? They call it the
perceived susceptibility or
perceived severity. That perceived susceptibility. Once everybody kind of grabs hold of that, then they're going to react the same way, basically. Isn't that what that second bullet point means? Like, so we're kind of, it's kind of goes back into that victim blaming mindset. Like, well, if people just had the right information, or if they just had, the right information, they had the right, this and that, then all their lives will be easier and all their problems will go away, kind of a thing.
Right. Well, I think also we learned a lot about racial disparity, right? So talking about maybe mammography, like in the last slide, there are lots of communities where women don't really have the access to the healthcare they need to get a mammography, or can't get transportation to and from it. So the health belief model doesn't address that.
Mm-hmm.
It assumes that everybody's got equal access. At least I think that's part of it, what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, like the physical access, that makes sense to an equivalent. Okay.
But it
All
says
right.
information, so maybe I'm going way beyond that.
No, I think you're right. So kind of what this makes sense to me. So like, because I teach seminary, right? So then like some of these, every day there's a lesson, there's a goal. And so, some of the kids, that perceived susceptibility, it's just not there. I mean, it's just really not like relevant to their life at this moment. And so, and it is about just different. I mean, this is really applicable. The health belief model, I think, is really applicable to gospel teaching. Does that make, but I think like that's a really interesting, this slide where it says the weaknesses or critiques is a really interesting way to look at it.
Gosh, you just said something that I hadn't connected before. So I have to give a talk tomorrow, and I'm totally unprepared. Anyway, it's on why teaching is a part of the plan of salvation.
Oh,
So, like, if you looked at this model, and you're trying to teach like a family that about baptism, or that maybe they need to work on some things, like a lot of this is exactly what the gospel teaches. So, giving the doctrine, the cues to action made me think of like inviting somebody to act, like, do you want to be baptized, that kind of thing. So wow, it does really coincide, and I hadn't made that connection before, so maybe that'll incorporate into my talk somehow.
yeah, absolutely. And I think like really, because yeah, I love that subject. Or I mean, I could like really, it's really interesting to me. I felt so strongly to go into this major, and then this opportunity with Seminary and Institute came up, and it's like this, it's a really, really good opportunity that I can't pass up. And so it just is so confusing to me, or was confusing for a really long time, why I felt so strongly about going into this major when Heavenly Father knew that this other opportunity would come up. But really, I've learned so much about human behavior. I don't think I would have gotten any other way. Like it's a really outside of the box way of looking at it. That's I don't know, and I don't know if we'd get that outside of BYU Idaho, though. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
That's true.
But it is like, I think it's a really cool way to put it together. So like, I don't know how much, if we were to go to, anyway, I guess that's kind of getting off topic, but if we were in another public health degree in another university, they would still have to make sure that we knew all of the models and understood as far as like, that we understood everything. But see, here's another thing that I like, that I think is super applicable, that just reminded me of something else, is that under weaknesses and critiques, what I found with just gospel living in general is anytime that we put like all of our eggs into one basket, we like, I'm in Young Women's right now, and my girls are in Young Women's. I mean, and so now we're just a young woman family. Like, as soon as we start thinking like that, we're like missing this bigger picture of like, it's really only one part. And so if we don't rely on just different things, it's not going to work out no matter what. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty cool. But I'm not in Young Women's, by the way. But yeah. So, okay. Let's go to.
All right. Read and discuss the following quote. I'll read it. Peer and
Okay.
parental influences compete and often conflict. As youth approach early adulthood, they decide upon ways they wish to present themselves to others and count the costs of doing so by gauging the reactions they get. Attendant to this process as psychosocial risks and rewards. For example, the choice between acceptance by peers and rejection by parents and other authority figures factors into the decision-making process for behavior in general. We imagine this to be more consequential when individuals contemplate getting something as permanent as a tattoo. So, what is the behavior behind tattooing?
That's an interesting. As youth approach early adulthood, they decide upon ways they wish to present themselves to others. So they're really thinking about this image that they're creating, that they're developing their sense of self, I get, like, and what that's going to mean in society.
Right.
So that's really an interesting. I don't know if I've thought of it that way.
Yeah, it took me a long time. I remember when I read this quote, I almost like drew a blank for a long time until now. I just really couldn't kind of right because it says kind of like putting your personal feelings aside, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like because like I'm not saying like if one of you have a tattoo, I'm gonna judge you guys now forever and ever. Like it's just kind of like for me personally, I wouldn't get one. I really don't understand like why type of thing, like, and
Yeah.
it's not because of like health issues. I just feel like it's almost a waste of my time type of thing, like unless I put it like on my face, or something like that. I feel like why hide it with a shirt or something? I'll just put it on my face, type of thing, because like I feel like it's for everyone to see, and like um thinking about it now, a couple of friends from high school. Well, at least like they were friends because I haven't talked to them in a long time. But I noticed that they all got like a bunch of tattoos, like arms full of it, like a sleeve, and like knowing them personally from my childhood and stuff, I always kind of felt like it was hard for them to um what's the term I'm thinking about, kind of like talk about things. It's like, yeah, like they would talk about things like openly and stuff, but I felt like they never felt heard, you
Oh,
know?
interesting.
And so I felt like tattoos is like not really a rebellious type of thing, but kind of like, well, since I couldn't be heard in the past, I'm gonna kind of make it a permanent, like, way of everyone to see like
To
what I
hear
have to
you.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, like
So
bumper
like
stickers.
yeah, exactly. And so I almost
Interesting.
feel like it's almost like that. It just kind of hit me just now, like I just never really understood, But then from those people that I've known personally, I kind of understand of what their mind is telling them.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. I've never thought of it that way at all. And to tell you the truth, besides being like obedient to what we've been asked to do, I'm not really aware of any health issues with it, other than you have to be careful as far as like,
The
where
needles and
you go
stuff.
to get it. Yeah,
Hmm.
like I don't I don't really understand what the issues are, to tell you the truth. I mean, like, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know too much besides the needles. Thinking about it now.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why it's a bad idea because, yeah, you're going to have that like on you for the rest of your life. But I mean, I don't really, yeah, I don't know. How bad of an idea is it if if you don't have the same standards that we do? I don't really know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. Thinking about it like that, like maybe in their minds more benefits, than uh, than cons. I forgot the word that they're using now in the model. Like there's like the benefits and something else. I forgot. I think we just read it. What was it?
Let's see. I think
Um,
it
oh,
was.
barriers was it?
Oh yeah, barriers.
Yeah, I think like the benefits outweigh the barriers most of the time for them.
Uh, I don't know. What do you think, Kimber? What are your thoughts
That was specifically.
about just
Uh,
tattoos and the health? What are
yeah.
do you know the health risks of tattoos?
I know that problems with infection. You know, you can be susceptible to staph or MRSA or some of those
Oh, I
really
guess, yeah, that
scary
makes
ones.
sense.
I know that if you're going to someplace that's not reputable, I mean, you could be talking about HIV or any kind of disease that you
Yeah.
get blood to blood contact.
Oh wow.
So, but I think for the purpose of this class, I kind of wonder if they're talking more of the spiritual like side of it. I don't know.
Oh, that's
Okay.
Like I
interesting.
don't is there this big problem of teenagers getting tattoos right now and that there's a public health program to stop it? I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's what I was kind of like. This specific one, I think, is not really. I have a hard time understanding what the urgency is or the severity is.
Right, severity.
And so I don't know, because yeah, if it does seem kind of like, well, if they want to have tattoos, it's their choice. And like you said, like, so then, but maybe it is like it's a mental problem, like what Abe was saying, is that it really is, this is an issue about people not feeling like they're able to express themselves. They don't really have a clear sense of who they are, and so they're doing it basically so that they can just kind of look like everybody else, but in their own unique way.
Yeah, it's really interesting thinking about it now. I remember, well, like hopefully I'm not like out of line like saying anything, but I remember when I first got to BYU Idaho, um, I got in with like favors, like I was like inactive and stuff growing up, and so
Mm.
like, I remember when I got here, everyone thought I was Polynesian, and I had no idea what that meant. You know, I'm like Polynesian, like what? You know, no, I'm from New Jersey. You know, I'm like, I don't know what Polynesian is. You know, and then like I started meeting like Polynesian people, and it was really weird because I've noticed like maybe like 6 out of 10 had like tattoos, and
Mm.
someone told me I think it might have been my sister, but she's not one of those like look up scriptural references to actually tell you the truth. Like she'll just kind of say what's on her mind and she thinks it's the truth. And she was saying how like apparently they're allowed to get tattoos, you know, and it's not against
Mm.
like the commandments. I'm like, no, that's not true, but I don't really
Sorry.
know
I don't know how
why,
to
you know. And then someone told me that apparently it because like apparently their culture was like evolved around God and family so much that their culture was to always remember that with tattoos or something like
Mm.
that. And so I think like the church was like kind of like weird about it, you know, like wow, but like they're so righteous, but they try to remember it by like you know with tattoos. Like I don't really know like when it like I remember one point it got like super like controversial, but then like I don't know what happened because like I feel like that was happening more with that type of culture in the church, you know, and the church didn't want to like just kind of like point fingers like, hey, you like Polynesian people, like stop it, you know, and so like I just don't know if like what's the real rule about that, you know? Yeah, it's not like I'm trying to like I'm trying to get a tattoo or anything. I'm just kind of
Yeah.
curious because like I had some friends here from BYU Idaho that had no tattoos that were Polynesian, and I
Yeah.
noticed on Facebook like in the past couple of months that they got huge like cultural tattoos, like the what the Samoans and Tongans usually get. You know, like the designs. I'm like, so weird, but they're so righteous still. Like they go to church, and I'm like, that's so weird. I don't know.
Yeah. I would say that it's, I mean, they're in, I mean, just like the hard line is that, yeah, they're not supposed to do that no matter what their culture is. We have a lot of Tongans here, and I've heard that argument before, but I think that it's basically just an excuse to get a tribal tattoo because it's something that separates them from the rest. And what we've been asked to do is to actually integrate with each other, no matter
Oh
what
yeah.
color we are, no matter what kind of what race we are. And so, and from my understanding too, is that they have tried to do away with like the different branches, like the different Tongan branches, the different like the Polynesian branches. So like Samoan, well here the Samoans and the Tongans don't necessarily get along either. So like so they're just trying to get away from all of that. The same with Spanish branches unless it's absolutely necessary. So like I think that with the churches standing, well, I know that tribal tattoos are not okay. So, and it's not, it really, there's a scripture in the Doctrine and Covenants that says that that you have to, there's a point, you have to just, this is a tradition of my father, but I am going to do what God wants me to do. And so, and that is, I mean, I think that's pretty clearly relatable to tribal tattoos. So, but I think that does make a good point with the health belief model in that, I mean, this is really who they feel that they are, but it is keeping them from integrating into, it's hurting the unity of, well, within the church, it's hurting the unity within the church. So, I don't know. Yeah, see, this seems kind of it does seem kind of controversial because what are you going to say? Well, you guys aren't integrating with us enough. I mean, like,
Well, our bodies are temples. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
yeah.
That's what we need. So, Vanessa, though, to answer your question, I finally found an article. So, tattooing practices in teens. So can expose teens to germs and bacteria that cause serious skin infections such as staph infections, tuberculosis, Hep B, Hep C. And tattoo artists should use sterile needles, razors, blah, blah, blah. But only 9 states have proper health codes in place for tattoo parlors.
Oh, so that is if only 9 states?
Yeah.
Whoa. It's like with the vaping. Is vaping popular where you guys live?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like, because even my kids who are like, well, they're on missions now, but they were like, I don't see the problem with vaping because it says, okay, nope, there's a problem. There's a problem. I don't know what it is yet, but there's a problem. Okay. So it's the same.
Yeah.
Because how can you find out? Or I mean, how are you can't be, there's so much.
Yeah, you show me your practices. I mean, like, how do you know that the people that you're getting your tattoos from are following regulations or any? So that's why it's a public health crisis. A crisis, something to address, an issue. Yeah. Did we lose it?
Abe, are you here? Oh, we might have lost Abe.
Do you hear me now?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, that was so weird. I just noticed that apparently I muted my thing. I was like, but I hear everyone perfectly, and I've been talking the whole time.
Oh no. Well, wait. The last thing that I heard you talking about was like just the tribal tattoos and how it's really, and then I went off on that, and then Kimber found so you were keeping up with us. What did you say?
I don't remember. I feel like I I mentioned a couple things now, which is kind of embarrassing because I apparently like was talking to myself.
That's funny. Well, I think that that's a pretty really valid like concern. And so now I can see
Yeah,
it.
it's really cool. Yeah, I think we might have discussed that really well, that section. Which
Yeah,
I
we could
think,
probably go on, huh?
yeah, because like the last part, which kind of goes off of that, is the homework assignment, which I was looking over, which was
Okay.
like I was slightly confused. Maybe I missed something from a while back or something, because the first question is basically just kind of you just give definitions of what the model is and the constructs. But what I don't understand for the second question, um, it says, what individual interventions are you developing to apply the constructs as a health educator? Kind of like talking about the whole tattoo thing. But then it says, from the 8 different types. Like, from what 8 different types? I'm not really understanding what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
supposed to
what
be
the
choosing
eight
from.
different types, what eight is?
Yeah, because I thought that maybe they were talking about the constructs, but then I counted them and there are only what, like six, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe they are 8.
I think there's only six.
Yeah, and so I'm like, what 8? Like,
Oh,
and I went back in the reading and there was no 8 of anything, and I'm like, oh, this homework assignment is going to be horrible.
yeah. There was something like this in the last application too. It said go back to lesson two. And
Oh
so
yeah,
I was going back to lesson two. I'm like, this is not helping me in the way that,
yeah, that like it should.
yeah. Um, thank goodness Kimber gave us like a heads up of what to, so that's basically what I put in my,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, like, so I don't know. What do we do? Do you think they just meant six? Is there something on the, here, let's go and see.
I'm Googling intervention types.
Okay.
Yeah, I did the exact
Uh,
same thing, and apparently there's
it's all like
a
drug stuff.
hundred of them.
And all the ones I'm finding are for like addiction and stuff.
Exactly, like alcohol, right? Like that's why I'm like, well,
Right.
maybe because I was gonna use some alcohol ones for tattoos, but they're like completely different. So I was like, I don't know what exactly.
Yeah, there's only six. I bet you anything that they meant eight. Let's let's go into the questions and answers and see if somebody has asked
Oh yeah,
something.
I didn't think about that.
Let's see. Um, I don't see any reading.
Pull up my notes for my reading. Like I may have something in there.
It could possibly be an error because like this semester, like all my teachers every single week are sending emails like, just so you know, question 2, 3, and 9 are like typed
Yeah,
wrong, but I'm always like, why don't they fix it?
that's I think that I think that's a huge like issue. Because some of these ones are the first ones that they, or first semesters that they're
Oh
on
yeah.
year three. But that doesn't seem like, that just seems like a typo. From the 8 different, I, I don't know. I
I
don't
wonder
know.
if like previously, like in a reading, like maybe there was 8 interventions that were the most commonly used, and maybe
Well, it says intervention boxes. So for number two, I mean, like they have a little like grid for us or a little table, and there's only six in this table. So if they're like, if this is part of number two, there's only six. Do you see what I'm like?
Yeah, that's what I'm finding too. Lizzie's Abe again.
Abe, are you
Yeah.
there?
We lost Abe again.
Okay. Oh, he's like not even in the picture, or he's not.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, here he goes.
okay.
Coming.
This might take a while too, huh? Darn.
I don't know. I'm just going to probably pull most things from that table 3.1. That's got pretty much everything that we need to know for it.
For our reading, in our reading.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what I'll go. I didn't. The way that I do my reading is I'll go through and work backwards and then like kind of fill in the blanks. It's like too much for me to read it all at one time, just like paragraph by paragraph. And then
Yeah.
it's just, nothing sticks that way.
Yeah,
So
this
I don't
class is killing me
remember.
with the reading. That's so much time.
Yeah. But okay, so I'll just go back in and look at that table.
Table 3.1. There's another table in there too that has to do with mammography, but I think that might
Oh
be
yeah, I do remember that one.
there.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think that'll be that's good. Well,
Yeah, looks like we
yeah, because I
talked
think
enough.
I think if we just assume that that's 6, then we're good, right? Like, is there anything else that we?
Oh no.
That's it.
Okay.
Well, I just realized that my
So,
webcam's not on. I have no idea how to turn.
yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
There you
oh,
are.
there you are.
So, Abe, you'll copy the link and put it in a Word document and submit it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that right now.
Okay.
All right.
All righty. So, yeah, we're done. Good.
So have a good day, guys.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, did anybody hear from Trevor?
No, I sent him the link like twice and nothing. He might have dropped the class, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Well, I'll look online later when I think of it and see if he's still in the class, and if he is, then we need to send the instructor a note that we haven't been able to reach him. So,
Or
Yeah.
yeah, and even in my, because didn't they ask us something like, "How did your meeting go?" Oh no, I did put that in my notes. You know
Oh,
how
that
we
Trevor
have to.
wasn't available.
Yeah.
right.
In our Word, I was like, well, we haven't, and we're just giving him the benefit of the doubt, blah, 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 something like that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so maybe, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I'll
Alright.
probably do the same thing. I'll just be like, yeah, we're trying to communicate again
Yeah,
for like another week, and he wasn't responding or something.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if he did drop the class, here we are, like, really trying to get a hold of him, and he's like,
Yeah.
that's a waste of all of our time.
What are these people calling me through Gmail all the time?
I know.
There's some stalkers.
All right. Well, you guys have a good
You
day.
too
All right,
now.
you
Take
too.
care.
Okay,
Bye.
Saturday.
bye-bye.